Hi, welcome back. I tried to force myself to film yesterday, and that was just not the best idea because when I force myself to film something, it never works out that way. I can't pre-plan videos or anything like that. I have to just wing it and do it. So that's what I'm doing. I've decided to scrap all of that, almost all of it. In that video, I was talking about things that I wanted to do for myself for this year. So one of those things was health and wellness, on top of I am trying to save a lot of money this year. I'm trying to save money so that I can move. I'm trying to save money so that I can get a car, which in the end I'm going to have output to pay for that, but it will all make sense in the end. Right now, the thing that I'm feeling the most like talking about today, I guess, would be me just getting back on track with my health. Overall, my health is generally okay. I don't get sick very often. My immune system is really good, which is surprising because I have Crohn's disease. But that's one of the reasons why I want to take my health into better consideration as I get older. So one of the things that I did was I spent a lot of time over the past few months. It hasn't been so bad in January. I actually did a pretty good job at staying off of it, but I spent a lot of money using Skip the Dishes and Uber Eats. So not only is that bad for my health, even though I was trying to find healthy options, it was also bad for spending money. So what would happen was sometimes I would order not only lunch, but also dinner. In some cases, it would be breakfast and dinner. A lot of the times it was kind of 2 meals a day. So depending on what time of day I was eating, it could be a $20 to $25 meal, or it could have been a $30, $35 meal. So let's take, I'm cutting it down a little here. I'm going to round up to $35 a day, but I'm only going to do that at 1 meal a day, just kind of to get my point across. So if I was doing $35 a day, 7 days a week, that's what, $245, $250 a week that I was spending on food. And that's, the delivery fee, the tip, all of that is included in that as well. So if you include the few days where I was doing 2 meals a day, it's just, we're talking like $300, $350 a week I was spending. So when the new year came, I told myself that I was going to be better. I wasn't going to skip the dishes as much. I was going to cook at home. And for the most part, I've been able to do that. But I do find that there's times when I get into a slump. I would treat myself, usually on a payday. I would treat myself to order out, or since my paydays are Thursdays, on the Friday, I would order a dinner as a treat for myself. It's really hard to stop those habits once you get into them. So one of the things that I want to crack down really hard on this year, and like I said, we're into February now, so over the course of January, I've been trying to be better, and so far, I still have, because I live paycheck to paycheck, I still have some money left over from my last paycheck going into my next paycheck. And that is awesome. Now, I'm still getting my bills paid. I'm still, paying my rent, making sure that I haven't missed any payments on anything. I'm not going any further into debt. I'm kind of just staying still. I'm, backing out of it slowly. And it took me a long time to get to a point in my life where I didn't necessarily have to worry about money. I still have to worry about it, but because I'm on my own, I'm comfortable. I don't have to worry about it as much. So there's other things that I would spend on too, not just food. There were other things that I tend to get into these, I don't know what to call it. I get into these habits of spending excessively on things, even though I'll give myself a budget and I'll stick to that budget for the most part. I'm still budgeting in money for things that I don't necessarily need. So now, because I am trying to get everything together so that I can move, even more in my head now is the looking at ways to cut back my spending. So yes, skip the dishes and Uber Eats was a big one. I did cut out Uber Eats completely a while ago. And I mean, I still have skipped the dishes. I even deleted the app so that I wasn't tempted to use it. But I know where to find it. So does that really help? No. So this is where I have to discipline myself. So I've been working from home for almost 4 years now. And when you're working from home and you're not getting out of the house as much as you used to, and you're not doing the commuting, you start to put on weight. And that is something that happened to me. I have put on weight, and I'm not upset about the weight I've put on, but I'm upset about the way that the weight sits. So that's something that I want to work on too. But I feel like I can start knocking 2 of those things down by doing one simple thing, and that's just cooking from home. If I'm spending $250 to $350 a week eating out, and I spend much less on that when I actually buy groceries, I should just buy groceries and cook at home, right? So one of the things that makes it a little bit harder for me to cook at home, not that it needs to be harder, I've kind of put that pressure on myself, is that I have a shared kitchen. So I do share a kitchen with the family that lives upstairs, and that's the thing, is they are a family. So there are 5 of them, sometimes 6, sometimes 12. And when it comes to me wanting to go up and cook, it's not always a convenient opportunity for me to use the kitchen. So I have to find ways to just, do some meal prep and all of that, and just make it so that I can pull something out of the freezer, throw it in I don't want to throw it in the microwave. I'd prefer to heat it up in the oven as opposed to using the microwave. But here's where I need to discipline myself to do that. You wouldn't believe how many household appliances I own that are still in boxes that I haven't even used. I have an Instapot I haven't used. I have a food processor I haven't used. My Dutch oven I think I've used twice. I've got an air fryer that I've also probably used maybe 3 times, and that's it. So, and a juicer. I bought a juicer. I did use it once. I can't remember what I put in there. I think it was pineapple. And that was an experience. So yeah, there's all these things that I can do to make things easier for myself. And now I just have to take that step and do that. So what have I got? I have got cookbooks. And I know how easy it is to just pop on your phone or your tablet, pull up a recipe from somewhere, and take that and use that to create your meals. I didn't want to do that. I'm kind of an old school girly, and I like to have books. And I got 3 of them just off of Amazon that I would be able to use to help me, hopefully help me, not only use these appliances that I have, but also help me make it more interesting by making food that I don't normally. Right? So the first one I got was the Complete Dutch Oven Cookbook. Why? Because I have a Dutch oven. And the original reason why I wanted the Dutch oven was because I wanted to make sourdough bread. I was ridiculous last summer, wanted to make sourdough bread, created a sourdough starter, all of that, had the most fun feeding it and everything. And I didn't actually read all the way through the recipe to see that the best way to make sourdough bread is in a Dutch oven. And I didn't have one at the time. So I bought one, still haven't made sourdough bread. So that is on the list one day. But there's other things that I can do in the meantime. So besides that one, I got a crock pot cookbook. And I just love to slow cook things, especially in the fall. this, I felt like it was super convenient. It's also a way for me to just use a little bit of counter space instead of it taking up the oven or the stove if, you know, that happens. And like I said, and it's funny because a friend of mine told me, again, the Instapot has not come out of the box. But a friend of mine told me that there's actually a cookbook in there. But that's okay because I bought a cookbook anyway. So now I have this Instapot cookbook, and the reason why I wanted this one was because I wanted to make baked beans from scratch. And it turns out that not only can I make it in the Instapot, I can make it in the Dutch oven. So eventually I'm going to end up doing both because I'm kind of going to want to see which one turns out better, right? So now that I said that, now you know one of the things I want to make this weekend is going to be the baked beans. Now the question is out of which cookbook do I want to make them? I do think that I'm going to use the Instapot cookbook for that because the recipe that I saw for it actually was done in an Instapot. Or a Ninja Foodie. They're both relatively the same thing, right? So one of the things I'm going to do tonight too is after I pick the recipes, because there will be two that I want to make. After I pick the recipes, I am going to order whatever groceries I need. So one of the other things that I do is I get my meat from a local butcher that we have. We have a couple of farmers markets in the area. And the one that I am going to order from offers meat packs. So they have different meat packs available with different types of meat in them that you can order for a fixed price. Or I could pick what I want and get it put in a bundle. Okay, so it's the next day and I am just sitting down, writing down what it is I need to order for my groceries tonight, so that they can be delivered tomorrow. It's under control. Okay, so my order came to $54.89, and they added a 10% tip for the driver, which doesn't get charged until afterwards. and then the delivery fee of $6.97. My tax was only 84 cents. Well, yay. So my estimated total is $68.29, which is fine because number one, it's less than $100, which is what I was going for. And hopefully I get everything that I ordered, because sometimes they won't have items or they'll be out of stock, and then they'll just remove that from the amount that they've charged me. So now that that is done, make sure everything is okay, and I have now placed my order. So it's going to be here tomorrow morning between 9 and 10 a.m. Now I just have to order the meat pack. Okay, so that is it. I am done. I've placed my orders. They will be here tomorrow, and I will show you what is in those packages, let you know if I got everything that I ordered. And then tomorrow night we are making baked beans. Sorry. Tomorrow night we are making Boston baked beans.